Welcome to ER Q&A episode number 9. Today our question is from Ali. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, A-L-Y. And he's all the way from Mali, in Africa. And the way I'm able to remember Mali is in high school when we used to have in elementary we used to have middle school when we used to have those tests for maps of Africa. Mali looks like a computer, as in literally it looks like a computer, the old school type of computers. But anyway, that's not what today's topic is about. Today's about the Q&A question that we got from him, and I love this question. I think this question is something that's kind of quite important for people who really want to dive into entrepreneurship. So his question was, could you please recommend some books for entrepreneurship and motivation? Now, the first challenge is I don't read a lot, not because I do not want people to read books just for me. I'm not a huge fan of reading, but when it comes to reading, these are my absolute top books for entrepreneurs, especially in Africa. Okay, so carry a little list right here, and I'm going to post a picture somewhere around here on the screen of the book, and I'll also post information in the video itself where you can be able to get the book. So anyway, so the first book is by C.K. Parrott. Kind of want to look so I know how to pronounce his name. And the book itself is The Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid. Now, this is a book I recently started reading, and I'm still currently reading it. I'm only on I'm 35% done reading the book, and it's already at the top of my list. That's how awesome this book is, especially for African entrepreneurs. So it goes into how you should be able to establish a company in Africa, and also how, not just in Africa, but developing countries. But if you're an African entrepreneur, this is the blueprint. I literally mean this when I'm saying go read this book. Absolutely. This is the top of the book list. And also, if you're an entrepreneur who might be in the US or the UK and you're interested in the developing countries, this is the number one book you want to read. And that is why I'm putting it at the top of my list, because it actually talks about how you can be able to create a for-profit company and be able to still impact and change the developing countries, which are the people at the bottom of the pyramid. It's a key book. You should definitely read it. Now, a part of the question that you asked is a book about motivation. And I don't really specifically know a book about motivation, but I do know a book that's written by Gary Vaynerchuk, one of the entrepreneurs I really look up to. And this book is Crush It. The full title of the book itself is Crush It, Why Now is the Time to Cash In on Your Passion. And it talks about how the internet is a huge opportunity for people to start their businesses. And I 100% agree with this. And that is why it's sort of also a motivational type of thing. Because all the businesses that I've been able to establish are been on the internet. And also a lot of entrepreneurs now, you look at the big companies, they're basically internet-based type of businesses. So that is why Crush It is on number 2 on my list when it comes to entrepreneurship. Next up is the Elon Musk biography. And this book is really about the hustle and grind of also a fellow African entrepreneur, Elon Musk. People forget he's from South Africa. He's from South Africa. He's not from the United States. Anyway, Elon Musk is the creator and founder of Tesla, PayPal, as in it's crazy how he's also been able to build SpaceX and also partly SolarCity and etc. So this entrepreneur is big in the game, and it also talks about how he was able to grind and hustle. And he has a very unique way of approaching things. So if you're an entrepreneur who has some big ambitions, like literally going to space, then this is the book you want to read. And also in general, even if you're starting a local business somewhere, this is a book you want to read about what it means to be a pure hustler when it comes to entrepreneurship. Now, the final book on my list is not really specifically about business, which it does go into business in the book, but it's more about the psychology part of things. It's a book written by Dale Carnegie, and the book itself title is How to Win Friends and Influence People. It really talks about how you should be able to interact with people, and also how businesses are being able to use this when it comes to how they establish relationship with their customers. It's an important book because when you're running a business, you're dealing with people a lot of the time. Even if you're creating a product where you're not doing human-to-human interaction, there's still people using it on the other end. And if you understand their psychology and you're able to reverse engineer that, you'll be able to position yourself as an entrepreneur and as a business person in the market. Especially when you're networking with people, you want to be able to understand, hey, how should you do a conversation? How should you, when should you listen? What are the key things people care about? And when you know how to connect with people emotionally, you can be able to sell them products even better. Now, that is my list of the top books that I recommend for entrepreneurs. As I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of reading books, but if we're talking about books, those are the ones I recommend. And also in general, if you're ever looking for books to read, You can be able to go and search what, as in if you have an entrepreneur that you really look up to, they usually have a list of books they read. For example, Bill Gates has a list. Mark Zuckerberg, I believe he also has a list of books that he reads. Oprah Winfrey, the biggest book club out there. It's not always business focused, but you can find some pretty good books in there. And just Google around. Like, if you're going into business about bakery, find a person, an entrepreneur who did big in bakery, and read a book they recommend, or maybe a book they wrote, or their biography. And sometimes books are not always where you want to find your information. Now we have the internet. Crush it, right? Internet tells you we have videos, you have bloggers, you have vloggers. Hey, you're watching this. This is a way of getting more information. So go check out documentaries, go check out books. And the one thing I recommend you stay away from is Hollywood movies about entrepreneurship. The Social Network, great movie, bullshit story, right? They just basically show you a glimpse of a little bit of grind, and then they show you all this glamorous and shiny stuff. That is not how entrepreneurship is. Trust me, even Mark Zuckerberg denounced the movie himself. So you want to actually go get real content about hard work, and don't get all these fancy things that you're going to be an overnight success. So be careful what books you read, and also be careful what content you take in. Anyway, got a little sidetracked, but I wanted to, share a little piece of that towards the end. But thanks for watching this video, and I'm just gonna sip my tea and see you guys later. I'm excited about next week. We have an awesome vlog chapter that's coming up, so make sure to stay tuned in for that. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace out. Thanks for the question.